Hey guys, so if you saw my video from yesterday, you saw me freezing my ass off on this bike. But when I rode it, I remembered something about it that drives me a bit nuts. And for some reason, the clutch, when you let the clutch out, real jerky. Now, I converted this bike to hydraulic clutch. It was cable before. I thought maybe that's what it was. And then I also thought maybe when I did the clutch before, I did all new fiber plates, but I didn't replace the steels. I just sanded them down real good. So I was thinking maybe it was one of these was warped. But when I started to take the bike apart today, I noticed that I tested real quick the feeling in the clutch. You could actually feel like a kind of like a notch in the disengagement. What I did was I put a pair of vice grips on the actuator for the clutch, and you could actually feel in the clutch. You could actually feel it like right here. You could feel it would just kind of be like a I don't know how to describe it, but that led me to believe. Well, one, what that did is it eliminated the hydraulic actuator right here. It eliminated that, and it eliminated the actual the master cylinder. So it was something definitely in the disengagement. So I checked this, and basically how this works is that this arm moves, and then there's gears right in here, and then the gears.
Motion detected at the front door.
Thank you, Alexa. The gears connect to this, and then what this does is this, let's see, pulls this way, and what it does is it separates. So here's the clutch basket, like that, and when you pull it, then that separates this. So I've kind of just gone through everything, trying to figure out where I think I figured it out. So I think what's going on is, let's see, let's take this. I think if you look, I think these are like 34 years of grooves right here. So those little marks that you see, that's where these tangs on the clutch, actually, I'm sorry, that's where these tangs on the steels, any clutch, you've got fiber plates and then you've got steel plates in between them. And so, they're riding like this. So when you accelerate, this moves. When you decelerate, it goes back. So the whole time it's going like this. And these plates are causing little grooves. And you can see these little dark grooves. I've started to sand some of them. It's tedious, monotonous labor, but I'm trying to sand some of them smooth, because I think what's happening is when I'm disengaging the clutch, I think the feeling is moving. It's when it's moving, because they move like this when you're disengaging the clutch. Engage, disengage, engage, disengage. So I think that's what I'm feeling. I think I'm feeling, and even moving it now, I can just kind of feel it like little notches in the steel. So I think that's what's it. So I'm going to just sand all these down. You can see where I started, and you can see how they look normally. But I think that's probably the issue. I hope so. It's just going to take some time to go through and sand all these down. And then if that is the case, then when I put it all back together, it should be smooth. It should be smooth as can be. So anyway, I'll sand these down, put it all back together, shoot a follow-up video, and see if I conquer this issue. So, all right. So this is how I've been doing it. I just got some, what is this, like 80 grit sandpaper, and I'm just slowly going through each one. And I thought, maybe I could use a wire brush on or a wire wheel, but since it's right up against here, probably not going to happen. So it's just going to be just time consuming. But here, so there's one. So this one I'm working on right here. So if we go over to this one, and being that this is a 34-year-old bike, and a 750 turbo, which is somewhat rare model. Really hard to just find a new clutch basket for it. And you know, a lot of the parts on this bike kind of the same deal. So anytime I work on this bike, I try to remain very cognizant of that. Just because you can find used parts, you're going to pay a good amount for them. But as far as new stuff, certain things are just extinct and just don't exist. The clutch basket, I think I've seen a couple of these used, but you know, if I get one used, it's probably going to be in the same boat. And if I buy one new, if they make it, which I haven't checked, if they make one, several hundred, you know, I'm sure well over $500 to do it. So anyway, so I'll just keep doing this, and next video it should be finished. So let's see what I've got. I've got that much done, and you can see I still have to go back and hit them. So I've got maybe a third of it done. I just charge on. So all right, so check it out. I got this all sanded down, and I'm thinking my issue, it's good I did this anyway, but my issue is probably not the, if anything, it's probably not the plates sliding on these ridges right here. It's if anything, if anything to do with this, I should say, it would be right here, sliding on that, maybe. So I'm going to dunk it. If you don't know about if you're a gearhead freak like me and you don't know about the Berryman's carb cleaner, like I didn't know a month ago, go get yourself some, because it's the greatest stuff ever. You just dunk it in, the stuff comes out looking like brand new. Right? Some of you might use the dishwasher method, but that shit will get you in trouble with your spouse. I'm talking from experience. Unfortunately, I don't think, I just got the basket for a 5-gallon of it, but I don't have the 5-gallon yet, which is a shame, because nope, not going to happen. So I might just run out and grab that. The basket was the hardest thing to get. I think the carb cleaner, I think they have it at, I think the 5-gallon they have at AutoZone, maybe. So anyway, look at that. Look where my glove broke. It's funny. Anyway, all right. All right, so I got the clutch done. You know, there really wasn't any smoking gun. What it was, there were several things, as I showed you with the clutch basket itself. Also, the hydraulic clutch conversion that I had was kind of off up here. So it was, I think, when it was pulling the clutch, I think it was maybe cocked a little bit right there. Might have been causing an issue there. I had another slave cylinder for it, and it was red. The other one was blue, so that was just a no-brainer. But I ran the cable differently because it was coming down this way, and this the inlet was going in here and kind of pushing this thing that way also. So now you can see I got a nice straight line up and down. The lever feels really good. The reason I've got it sitting here with the funnel in it is to remind me to put oil in it tomorrow morning before I start it, because right now the gasket material is setting. Normally I just do a gasket, but for some reason this bike down around here had a hard time sealing up, and I checked both surfaces. Both surfaces looked really flat. So I used a new gasket, and I'm just helping it out with a little bit of gasket sealer. Some of the Permatex stuff, that the good stuff. The Permatex black, but the one that's good for oil, really good for oil. They have one that has a silver cap on it. Anyway, so tomorrow morning I'll throw some oil in it, start it up. But I can tell just from grabbing the clutch lever that whatever I did between resurfacing that clutch basket and new steels, I put new steel plates in it. The previous ones were pretty good. That's an extra clutch cover that I got right there, but these were in pretty good shape. I resurfaced these on the workbench with just some sandpaper. So may or may not have had to do that. I also changed one of the bearings, this little needle bearing. I don't know if that's going to do anything or not, but and there was a little this thing this is actually the one that was on the bike. It's one that I cut and extended and then changed it. Don't ask. But anyway, I swapped the stock one back on. I think I might have been getting a little flex in there. So I don't know. Tomorrow we'll see. And you know, if it still has kind of a grabby clutch, then I'm just gonna live with it. All right. Hey guys, just to follow up on this, whatever the issue was, I fixed it. So it was either the redoing the slave cylinder, rerunning the line. It could have been the resurfacing I did in the clutch basket. Maybe the steels, putting new steel plates in it, but whatever I did, it's very smooth now, so that corrected it. I've got the belly pan off the bike right now. If you ever want to see what the turbo looks like on this bike, it's probably the smallest turbo you're ever going to see. Right there. It's a Hitachi HTS10, and normally the inlet, that's a K&N, that's a hop up to have the K&N on it so that it flows more air. There's a pipe that goes to the turbo from the motor that lubricates the turbo that's leaking. I'm gonna change that, but I thought while I have it apart, I'm probably gonna have the pipe. You can see the pipe on this bike is really short, so it's comes out right there of the turbo. Boom, that's it. And you can get away with that because the turbo really quiets down a lot of the noise. So it's really not that, it's about as loud as a normal performance exhaust. But I'm thinking what I'm gonna do, since I had this chromed, I think I'll probably have the pipe chromed because the belly pan covers it till about right there. So it'll just be a little chrome stinger sticking out like that. I think it'll be pretty cool. So that's that. All right, take care.